I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And this is The Coin Show. On episode 146 of The Coin Show podcast, Matt and I are going to answer a couple of listener questions. We will talk about the coolest thing to walk into Matt's shop this week, as well as discussing, as always, the news in the world of coins and coin collecting.
I like it. My favorite.
Yes. So, first, as always, the news. Did you know the patrons of...
Who?
Did you know the patrons of the Coin Show get access to exclusive content available only through Patreon.com? It's true. Don't miss out on the fun. Become a patron of the Coin Show at www.patreon.com/thecoinshow. The news is sponsored today, Matt.
Who is it?
The news is brought to you by Staplers. Ooh. Those wires aren't going to bend themselves. Staplers. And by excuses. What you make when you don't want to face the truth. Excuses.
I love it. The Excuses Company back up. Hey, did their first
They explained the whole thing to me. It didn't really make a ton of sense, but they said it'd be okay if I let them have a second chance.
All right.
I don't
see what happens.
NGC has announced the certification of the 10 millionth silver American Eagle.
That's a ton.
10 million.
That's
so
ridiculous, actually.
It is ridiculous. First off, I want to congratulate NGC on this incredible feat. They actually created a market for this, and for that, I am in complete awe. I mean, they made TV networks profitable, registry sets for bullion possible, and actually giving a piece of bullion a market value independent of the bullion value.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they did all that. Them and PCGS, they did it all by themselves. I am suspicious about what the market is going to do someday, but that's a bit an opinion for another day.
So I was just looking at this news story here, and it says that they have certified 10 million coins out of the 530 million that have been struck since 1986.
Yes. And not a one of them grading less than the MS-65.
I bet there's a few. I've got a few graded.
Well, if you carried them in your pocket, if you've done stuff like that, but from the roll,
right?
They're almost all 67, 8, 9.
Exactly.
They're all just gems. So,
right.
You know, so congratulations to NGC. I mean, seriously, it's like they have created this out of whole cloth in a market that is largely dying. I mean, coin markets have not been doing well.
Yeah, I wouldn't say dying is the right word, but they're definitely down a little. But this spike in bullion lately
they've been shrinking for years.
Sure, but
better.
I mean, it's hard to say that when you go to these big giant coin shows with 1,000 dealers and thousands of people walking around that the market's dying. But you know,
well, when you see millions and millions of dollars worth of gold just kind of lined up, yeah, right. I understand, but it's not the high end of the coin market that anybody's ever worried about.
Well,
it's truly the bottom end and the collecting part of it, the hobby,
right?
The fun end.
Well, it's all fun, but yeah.
NGC also made news this week by grading one of the first Morgan dollars struck in San Francisco.
Now this is cool.
It is kind of cool, but how do we know it was one of the first coins struck at the mint? Because someone actually carved it into the face of the coin. The words, one of the first 10 coined, April 17th, from j.gus.brt.
BRT? B-U-R-T, Bert.
Oh, Bert. Sorry, I missed something. Bert. Okay. Yeah, from J. Gus Bert. Now, the coin itself was struck from freshly polished dies and exhibits an exceptionally strong strike and a strong cameo contrast. And according to numismaticnews.net, the coin was clearly produced for the occasion of the first striking of Morgan dollars. And thus, NGC gave it a specimen grade. Now, I don't know if I agree with the 64 portion of the grade.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it might grade it. Honestly, if I were to grade it, I would grade it specimen 58 proof-like details.
Cleaning.
Well, it was just downgrading it for the damage because, I mean, it is damage. They carved it into the surface of the coin.
Again,
No, I also understand that it is the only way to have provenance these coins.
Right.
I get that. But to me, it just seems kind of inconsistent how grading services call this acceptable, but other things are considered damage. But in fairness, this was actually done at the Mint.
Well, I think that's how they justify it, that it was actually done at the Mint. The engraving.
But it was
itself.
post-strike.
Well, sure, but it doesn't matter. It was still engraved at the Mint.
Yes.
It's pretty cool. And did you read that down at the bottom? I thought this was interesting. The coin has provenance that can be traced back to Henry Chapman, which, if you know about Morgan Dollars, is one of the guys that talked the Mint into making specimen strikes for him, the Chapman proofs.
Yes.
So
him and Zerby, right?
Yeah, Chapman and Zerby were the two that you see that were able to get the Mint to make coins specifically for them.
Now, were the Chapman coins made at Philadelphia? Because I know the Zerby proofs were made in San Francisco.
I don't remember. I don't remember if it was Denver or Philadelphia. I think it probably would have to be a branch Mint, because that's the only way they could identify them from being different than the other proofs.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So,
yeah. In other American Eagle news, the 2019 Palladium Eagle is being made with a reverse proof finish.
Really?
Have you seen these coins, Matt?
No.
They have them at the major shows now. They were at the World's Fair of Money, and that's where I got a chance to see them. The coin, they've recycled the classic coin design, right, for use on bullion, which I love the concept. I think it's a great way of preserving designs for the current generation to enjoy, something without having to find mint state specimens of old coins.
Sure.
I really think it's great. This coin marries the Mercury dime obverse with the Walking Liberty half reverse.
Cool.
So it's the eagle and the rock and, all that. And I've always liked that reverse. I was kind of bummed when they made the silver eagle and they used, a different reverse.
Right.
But, this is cool because they brought this one back. If you're looking for designs like that, I think that you could recycle the $20 St. Gaudens reverse and the $10 eagle reverse that he created.
Yeah, I like both of
those. I think those would be great.
I like both of those designs.
Yeah. Palladium Eagles, let's see. How much are they? They're based on, this is from the Mint, so this is not the are they available from bullion dealers?
Are they proofs or Mint?
Well, these are reverse proof, but
then I assume you have to buy them from the Mint.
But it says American Eagle 1 ounce palladium bullion coin, and that just kind of, it's okay. It's a collector version palladium proof coin.
Gotta buy it from the Mint.
Hold on. They introduced the palladium bullion coin in 2017, followed by a collector version palladium proof coin in 2018. This year, for the first time, the United States Mint is offering the 2019 Eagle 1 ounce palladium reverse proof coin. Yeah, so it sounds to me like they're actually making 3 of them. Yeah.
And I suspect you have to buy them from the Mint.
Well, yes, this one you have to buy from the Mint, and I'm quite certain that it's at a hefty premium to the metal.
Especially since palladium is going bananas right now.
And I still don't know what they use it for.
It's kind of like the new platinum. It's a very industrial metal. They use it a lot. They use it in places where they used to use platinum because it was cheaper. Guess what? It's not cheap anymore.
Catalytic converters, right?
Right. That's what they use them in.
Let's see. Still more Eagle news. The U.S. Mint has sold over 112,000 S-minted proof silver American Eagles.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Now, this number is just shy of last year's first 20-day orders. The 2018 ended sales at just over 159,000 coins total for the year. So, honestly, beyond the first 20 days, they don't tend to sell a ton of them. But, the Mint has already sold over 298,000 W-minted silver American Eagles. So that's over 450,000 proof silver American Eagles.
That's nuts.
When was the last time they minted that many?
I don't know.
Maybe last year.
Probably.
But apart from that, it's like the proof Eagles were kind of dropping off in sales. You know what? Let's do this. Yeah.
Let's do something different.
I think the next move, Denver.
Who knows?
It's the only facility they haven't made Silver Eagles at.
I'm sure it's been talked about and on the way.
Absolutely. In other mint news, the 2019 mint set and proof set offerings, both silver and clad, are trending ahead of last year's sales. But I think this is purely due to the W mint sets. Next year will really tell the tale.
Right.
When they stop offering that, then we'll see what effect the 999 silver has on the silver proof sets. And if we see a huge drop off in proof set sales again, then I think it pretty much tells us what's going on.
Right. I mean, it's got to be due to those freebies that they were giving out.
Yeah, usually is. America's Hat is releasing a Winston Churchill tribute coin.
Oh boy, haven't they tried this before in other places?
And that's the thing. A few things about this release really make me just kind of scratch my head. It's a 10-ounce silver proof coin.
Huh?
Yeah. So why would somebody pay a huge premium for a giant coin that is likely worth only the bullion value? Why a mintage of 700 pieces? Why Winston Churchill? And what about Naomi? I mean, don't they know that that Great Britain, England, whatever United Kingdom, released a large-sized Churchill coin in the 60s, and they are largely shunned and basically uncollectible.
They're horrible. I see them all the time, and I don't even...
You can't give them away.
Right, I don't want them.
The
other thing, did you notice what's on the other side of this coin and who's not on the other side of this coin?
Yes, but it's her dad.
Bro, it's fine. I'm just
no, because they went back to the king at the time of World War II.
Sure.
King George VI, who is the father of and hello. So yeah, it's kind of it has, but here's the thing. To me, it's like Churchill doesn't have a huge connection to Canada, does he?
No, but it's just,
they're not
visited Canada during 1941. It says here.
I visited Canada in 1999. They're not making a coin for me.
Right. Well,
it's just one of those. I don't get it.
Winston Churchill is a very interesting character, but him on a coin, he always looks like a slug. It's hard to make the man not look like a slug.
Well, actually, the cool thing is, and if you look at the article that was posted by Coin News Update, it shows a picture of Churchill that they took the image for the coin from, and basically, he scowled at the camera, and it was really great because he kind of wanted that look. Right. And he scowled at the camera because the cameraman had taken away his cigar. Honest to God, that's why.
So that's what you put on the coin. Why not?
And they used this picture during World War II to show Churchill as a tough guy, resolve kind of thing. But there's another picture that the cameraman took like 5 seconds later as that scowl kind of melted into a smile. And it's like, and there's both these pictures on the article, and it's just interesting to note and interesting to look at. But I mean, my thing is that, okay, you're not exactly giving me a lot of confidence that this is going to be well-received coin when you make 700 pieces.
Right. I think they'll be lucky if they sell out, to be honest with you.
It's a 10-ounce coin.
Yeah. And probably double melt.
Well, it's going to be a premium, you know that. It's like the only thing I see a reason in making this for is to prove that you can make a 10-ounce coin.
Oh, right, sure.
Yeah, because 5-ounce seems to be the biggest ones they're making now.
Right.
Who knows? Also, from the world of why did they make it, the Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee is reviewing the designs for the 2020 American Innovation Dollars, just as the United States Mint is unveiling the designs for the 2019 Innovation Dollar coins. So, Delaware's design has me yawning already. Yeah. It's kind of, it's just, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to translate into a coin. I think it'll make a nice proof.
Right, of course.
But I just don't think it'll do well. The design is very flat, and it's kind of nondescript. And celebrates the the innovation of it's Andy Jump Cannon who figured out a way of categorizing the stars.
That's okay.
And that's the innovation. That was it. Pennsylvania celebrates the polio vaccine. New Jersey, what else? A light bulb.
Yeah.
Because Addison. Georgia features the Trustees Garden, which was the first agricultural experimental garden in America.
Huh.
So buckle up, because this program's going to last about the next 13 years. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
People are going to be looking at these coins like, what? What is?
No, I don't think they're going to be looking at them.
Oh, that's true. They're going to be in
sitting
proof
in
sets.
warehouses and proof sets. That's it.
Yep. Interesting.
Yeah. A very rare Sacagawea Dollar mule error is coming to auction at the Long Beach Coin Expo.
Just sold.
Did it just sell?
Just sold.
Cool. There you go. So one of only 18 known examples. This coin was struck from a Sacagawea Dollar reverse die and a statehood quarter. I want to say, well, it's really a reverse die, because the side with Washington's head on it was supposed to be
what you
right.
typically would consider.
What you typically say is the obverse, and clearly it fit into the anvil, or the hammer portion of the press anyway. So the last of these coins to sell at auction hammered at $192,000 in March at the Whitman Coin Expo. And my prediction, so I don't know what the sales price is. Do you have it?
I do.
Okay. So my prediction was that this one was going to sell for less, and likely came to market only after the March sale realized such a high price.
You are correct, sir. This coin
That
was
was
$102,000.
Yeah. I think that I don't know about the coming to market after the sale, but it makes sense.
Sure.
That one of these was sold, it sells for almost $200,000. So, okay, yeah, I think I could part with this, and it's going to sell for a lot less because the market was just satisfied a couple of months ago.
Right.
Hang on to that thing for 6 months, a year.
That's typically what happens when this kind of
And
odd
now what's
stuff-
going to happen is it's going to come up next year in an auction, and it's probably going to be 160 grand.
No, it'll bring 60 grand probably.
You think? Okay, we'll have to see.
They have a habit of doing that.
Yeah, they do. Gold dust from the SS Central America is now available in certified 5-ounce holders.
Really?
88 of the hand-numbered 5-ounce holders have been produced. The PCGS insert is a special design that has been signed by our buddy QDB.
Cool.
Books about Central America, and Bob Evans. No, not the Sausage King of the United States, but the chief scientist on all of the successful ship of gold recovery missions. And when I wrote that, I just kept on thinking of Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago. The holders, as well as the new Bowers Manley book, are available at retail from authorized Central America treasure dealers.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, they did find a ton of that gold dust.
It did, and I guess it's a decent way to distribute it. When I heard that they were gonna, send them out in holders, I was personally thinking that it would be like a vial, because it's 5 ounces. I mean, that's a lot of gold. But they're putting it into a slab, and you get absolutely no perspective from a picture of this slab. But it's 5 ounces, and it looks to be the size of a quarter. So I'm thinking that this is like a hockey puck slab.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. If you look up at the top picture they have in that story, you can kind of see it next to a $20 gold piece there on the left. So that gives you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's a 5-ounce holder.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely big.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, it's very cool. So yeah, PCGS, cashing in on Central America. Finally, in the news. Last episode, I asked what might happen when 2021 comes, and the Tuskegee Airmen National Park Quarter has been minted for its 10-week term. Well, much like the radio on Gilligan's Island, I got my answer this week from CoinWeek.com. That was kind of amazing.
Really?
And yeah, there it is. There is news. Chief of Corporate Communications, Thomas V. Johnson, has confirmed to CoinWeek that after the Tuskegee Airmen Quarter, the reverse theme of the Washington Quarter for the rest of the year 2021 will feature Washington crossing the Delaware River during the American Revolution. Now, there's been no hint if this will be an adapted version of the New Jersey statehood quarter dollar reverse, but the theme, at least for now, has been disclosed. Johnson also alluded to the fact that they will replace the Beautiful Quarter program with another program aimed at children or some other broad range of people in interest of, quote, creating long-term growth for the hobby and generate revenue for the U.S. Treasury.
Wah, wah.
Well, here, that's kind of a telling statement, though, isn't it?
Sure.
The U.S. board is now on board with nurturing the hobby of coin collecting. How far have we come since the early 60s?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if your idea of nurturing the coin community and their idea of nurturing the coin community are quite the same. I suspect that they're more looking to nurture the people that buy their products from their website. But, I'm just saying.
No, absolutely. And I think that they put the collector in that bucket saying, yes, we want a continual market for our new products. We want to be able to produce these sets and these different, because you've got now all these different specialty sets that they're coming out with, coin and currency sets,
Right.
quarter sets. It's all the specialty stuff, which honestly kind of reeks of the old commemorative stamp programs because there's just too many of them. But I think that in the realm of coins, it might survive that. Even ham-handedly handled, it might survive that. Mostly because some of the stuff that they're doing, they are producing in very small numbers. And so some of the stuff might end up being collectible down the road when it's forgotten about.
The one ray of hope I've had over the last few years was that W quarter in circulation program. That was like the one thing that said, okay, they might actually be paying attention, but until I see something else like that, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can hop on board quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, look, whether they did it for the right reason or not, I think the statehood quarter program was more of an educational program. But then they kind of tripped over the seniorage thing and went, wow. And now they're producing dollar programs, and they're producing. So the next one, I think that they will eventually probably produce a $50 program.
Of course they will. Why not?
Why not? It doesn't circulate anyway. So, you can do all kinds of things with that and just gain a ton of seniorage. But, the varying finishes and combinations that they're offered are a cash cow to the government. And with most being produced in base metals, that seniorage is huge.
Great. Well, that's what they're after, and not necessarily the collector, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
But,
I don't think there's any question about that.
At least we agree.
Yeah. So that's the news. And the news was brought to us tonight by staplers. Those wires aren't going to bend themselves, staplers. And by excuses. What you make when you don't want to face the truth. Excuses. So, Matt, we got some listener mail this week.
Oh boy.
I sound like hyper tonight.
A little, and I like it. I'm okay with it.
It's like I'm mashing out the pace. It's
awesome. I love it because I had a pretty intensive day at work today, so I'm glad that you're kind of perking me up.
Okay, well, that's good.
A little bit.
Well, therapy. So we have some comments, we have some questions,
okay,
and we had a new sponsor idea that I wanted. Now you've given people way too many ideas, Matt. In the fact that now people are just looking at their desktop and they're saying, "Okay, what's on the desk?" So. Yeah.
What? It works. Sometimes you just got to go.
Kind of. I mean, it's not really where I came up with this, but yeah, it's, hey, they come to me.
Super glue. I mean, that's like, that's just looking around the desk and it works. That's sometimes you just got to go with where your inspiration comes from.
Yes, but the funny tagline makes it all.
Oh, I concur completely.
So Daniel Fisher writes to us, and he lives, I want to say he lives in Minnesota. He said he listened to 145 as he drove across western Minnesota. Thanks for company and putting together another nice show. Looking forward to the next show, Dan Fisher. He says, I have a couple of suggestions for you. Mouse pads. So we know we've been obsolete for years, but we still look cool on your desk.
I love that one.
And coffee mugs. Don't worry. We won't talk to you in the morning. I like that.
Oh, super creative.
Ideas was awesome.
I think we need to just, instead of sending us questions, just send us sponsorship ideas.
Trust me, I get them.
Oh, I love them.
But not all of them are quite as high quality as those were. I like
those
those.
are good. Those are
Those
both
really,
very good.
let's see. David Hollister writes to us, says, "Hi, Mike, and not Matt." Wow.
What'd I do?
I don't know. Well, maybe he sent one to you too. Says, "I believe the CAC green bean has single-handedly dragged down the coin market." That's a bold statement. Coins with the bean have ask prices they don't deserve, and coins without are perceived as inferior and either bringing less money than they should or don't sell at all. I find myself passing on green bean coins as the prices aren't justified, and the thought of buying and reselling a coin without the bean keeps me from buying those as well. Could my theory be correct? The green bean is the poison pill of the hobby.
Sounds like you just need to quit buying coins.
Wow.
If you can't buy it with the bean, I mean, read it again. He won't buy them with the bean because he doesn't like what the bean stands for. And he won't buy them without the bean because he thinks that the coins are perceived as being inferior to coins with the bean. Buy the coin. Who cares what holder it's in, what sticker it's got on it? Buy the freaking coin.
There's the advice. That's the advice. That's the thing is what we have preached for years and years and years is the holder doesn't matter. It's like all these things are just opinions.
Right.
So it's like
that's all that the green bean
opinion, you get NGC's opinion, and then because somebody felt insecure about that or wanted it to maximize the value of that, then they sent it to John and John put his bean on it. Well, that's great, but at the end of the day, it's like, are you buying the plastic?
Are you buying the
coin?
Right.
Learn to grade them yourself, find undervalued coins, buy them, and keep them.
Yeah, no, and that's the truth. It doesn't, to me, honestly, the only thing a green bean is good for is when I'm in a hurry and I don't have time to rattle through a box of, 75 coins. I'll look at the cat coins first. Or if that's all I have time to look at, that's what I'll look at because I know that they've had more than one opinion of their grade. And that's it. That's it. I mean, that is all there is to CAC. So
yeah. And I also think that there's a misperception in the hobby that gold beans are rare. And I don't think they're rare. I think that hanging around are rare because when people get gold bean coins, they have a tendency to crack them out.
Right. They're hard to get because so many of the coins have been cracked, and also so many of the coins got cracked before they even got a chance to go to CAC because they were undergraded, and somebody who knows how to grade looked at them and cracked them. So
yeah, absolutely. Let's see. We have one from Matthew Cable.
Okay.
Matthew from California. I'm a fan and collector of early American bust coinage and have been assembling a set of cap bust halves for the last couple of years.
Fun.
Good on you. I keep hearing from my local coin shops here in California that bust coinage is primarily an East Coast thing. I've had good luck locating shops at the larger West Coast shows like Long Beach and when the ANA came to Anaheim. Any thoughts? Is there any truth to the regional thing?
No, I'm in the Midwest, so we kind of get the best of both worlds. I see dealers from the West. I see dealers from the East, that are always passing through town, stopping by the store. I've never heard that to be a thing, but I guess I can't deny that it's a thing. Like I deal with a couple of wholesale guys and retail guys out there that I sell bus coins to. So I don't know. I don't know necessarily the answer to that question.
Well, I'll tell you what. I have absolutely no clue. I mean, I can't offer you help in that regard. However, if that is the case, then you're a very lucky guy.
Right.
Because you're in a place where the coins are underappreciated and therefore will have less interest and probably cost less.
Right. I think that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, good on you. I mean, you scored.
I would go back to that shop and try to buy all their bus coinage.
Absolutely.
Just saying.
One from Jack. Hey, Matt and Mike, love the show. Actually posted this the other day when you shared that $500 bill.
No.
What is the largest note to have passed by the shop, and how often do these older, larger denomination notes pass by?
We had 5,000 come by not too terribly long ago. And they don't come by, the big ones don't come by very often.
Well, there aren't that many of them.
No, there's not, and there's not that many that people still have, just out in the wild, as we call it. So, the 500s and thousands, I see them, once every week or two. Somebody will have one, but the big stuff just doesn't exist out in the general circulation or general safe deposit box kind of deals that we get into. So,
yeah, I mean, think about the fact that they stopped making these in the 40s.
Yeah, during World War, I think it was 41 is when they quit making the thousands and 500s.
Yeah, because they didn't want people moving large amounts of money really easily and undetectably.
Right.
So they stopped making them. So think about how much money $5,000, $10,000 was. At that. Well, $10,000, we don't even have to think about that because we know exactly how many of those there are.
Right.
There's 117. That's it. Period. So the $5,000 bills are a little bit different story, but the thousands and 500s are relatively common. You see them because people can afford them and can afford.
Yeah, well, and the other thing, I think you might have blown up our recording there, Mike, but I think we got her back now. I think we're good. Yeah, all right on. Let's go.
Right. It's high-powered stuff I'm bringing. That's why. So I was saying about the $10,000 bills, it's like we know how many of them there are. There's 117 of those. But the 5,000s you just don't see very often. I don't think I've ever seen one in person. I mean, you go to a show, yeah, you can see one. But I mean, other than that, in the wild, I've seen 500s. I've seen thousands. And to be honest with you, you better be good at authenticating them before you buy them.
Yep.
Because there's a secure thread. There's no watermark. There's none of the modern stuff that we have. No micro printing. None of that.
Yep.
So you're taking a risk every time you buy one.
Yep. And the other thing about 500s and thousands too is they actually they started bringing them back in to be destroyed in 1969.
Right.
So that's why we still see quite a few, is because people just kind of squirreled them away.
Yeah, and 50 years of having them culled from circulation. Right. At every opportunity that the banks get them, they're gone, and then they're destroyed, and they never reappear. And yes, people of the 60s were very keen on what was being discontinued, and they specifically really kind of like to hoard all the stuff that was being discontinued. We know this by the large population of uncirculated 64 Kennedy halves, certificates, and all that stuff.
Yep, exactly right.
And we have one more question for you, Matt.
All right.
What does Matt see as this one doesn't even say hi, just what does Matt see as the strongest areas of the coin market currently, besides metals being driven by the recent price jumps in spot? What do you both see as the market reception to and flip opportunities for the 2019 palladium from the U.S. Mint? And what's both of your takes on a new CAC Rare Coin Market Review, which is published by CDN and feels to me like a CAC gray sheet hybrid? Do you see it being used currently, and will it be used going forward?
Okay, well, I will start. Go ahead and read me off the first one again.
Yeah, let's start with the first one. So it says, what do you see as the strongest area of the coin market currently?
My collectors in the office love type coins. They still do. They love putting together typesets. So anything that gets a little scarcer to find in a typeset, your seeded coinage, your bust coinage, your stuff like that, your 20-cent pieces, the stuff that goes in a Dansko 7070 type album. I can't keep it. Collectors are after it. Dealers are after it.
It seems like that is the new form of collecting. There are more typeset collectors out there probably now than anything else.
I've been saying this since we started, man. I love typesets because
me too.
You get. I feel like putting together a set of something is kind of boring. So put together a set of everything is a lot more fun.
Yes. I liked it because of the rounding of the knowledge that you had to have in order to do it, and what it did for me as far as learning.
Right. You put together a typeset, you have to find a coin that you like of that series, and that forces you to either learn about that particular series some, or just buy a piece of junk.
Or settle.
Or settle, right.
And never settle.
And once you have that information learned, you're going to have it for next time. The other thing I like too is dated gold. Better date gold always seems to do pretty well. Branch mint gold is doing well right now. And that's really, Morgan dollars are always strong. The market's down a little, but most dates still sell very easily. Yeah. Kind of my normal harping on coins and sets.
Yeah, but
Still
I mean,
seem to be doing
so
well.
so I think that this is a really good general rule that if you look at the two of us and the dichotomy of what we present, everything that I talk about for the most part is what's modern and new and coming into the hobby. And most of what you talk about is stuff that really is the staple of the hobby.
Right.
So I mean that's the way I think it pretty much works.
It's worked for 10 years. Let's keep it up.
Yeah, let's keep going. So what do you both see as the market reception to and flip opportunities for the 2019 Palladium from the US Mint?
That's all you, bro. Not me.
Oh, cool, because I love this question. Bad flip opportunity.
That was quick.
I thought that was it. That was really all it needed. It's not a flip opportunity.
I muted myself and was adjusting my chair, and all of a sudden you were done.
It's like these coins are not. They're too expensive to be collected by most collectors.
Right.
They're kind of like collecting gold eagles. I don't know a whole lot of people that do that. They're there. They're a great vehicle. I know people that buy them. I know the people that use them for exactly what they are, bullion. But I don't know a lot of people that collect them, and so therefore.
I don't know about you, but I can't say I've ever met anybody that collects gold eagles by date.
But you've met a ton of people who collect silver eagles by date.
Certainly, yeah, because they're affordable.
Or affordable coin. And that's, I think, you lose people when you get into palladium and platinum and that. And I think that the sales of the platinum coin are really good source material to look at for what's going to happen with these. Because they tried all kinds of different things, different finishes, doing different designs on the proofs than on the uncirculateds, and they still don't make a ton of them because people just don't buy them.
Well, and yeah, that's the thing. It's not the first palladium coin. It's not. I mean, it might be the first for this particular finish, but unless you give a hoot about that, then I say don't bother.
Well, unless the series becomes popular, the finish isn't going to matter.
Right. And
unless it's something that's just super attractive.
At this particular point, the price point is what's prohibitive in collecting that series.
Correct.
For sure. So
yeah. And I'm going to let you have this one because this one is really way out of my depth. What is your take on the new CAC Rare Coin Market Review, which is published by CDN and feels to our listener like a CAC Gray Sheet hybrid? Exactly. Do you see it being used currently, and will it be used going forward? Well, then he's a perceptive listener.
That is exactly what it is. We get it with our subscription, and I can tell you I haven't even opened it. Now, that just is simply because in our office, a lot of the coins we get are from just, the average Joe collector off the street. So they're, going to be mostly raw coins. We do get certified coins from people, on a daily basis, but most of the time they're not been to CAC. Nor do I care to send them to CAC. So personally, I don't use it. I haven't used it yet. That doesn't mean that there aren't people out there that do use it, that deal in CAC coins all the time. But
do other dealers use it?
I can't say that I have asked that question, to be honest with you.
Okay. Maybe it's just too new to know.
Yeah, I think that. I haven't been to a big show in the last few months since this has come out, so I don't really know. I'm doing CoinX in St. Louis coming up here.
That's going to be fun. You're going to be doing some really cool things down there.
I'm kind of stoked about it, but there's going to be a lot going on. I'm doing that CoinX show, and that'll be kind of the first time I've been out in a while with the kids, at that age that I kind of have to be around, and it's hard for me to leave. So we'll see then. But at this particular point, like I said, I haven't used it. All the dealers that I deal with every day, the local guys that come in and sell us stuff, they don't use it. I don't know.
Yeah, he said that it's the CAC Gray Sheet hybrid. Think about this, the blue sheet. How many people use that too? That was supposed to be the certified, Gray Sheet.
Sight unseen again.
Right. Sight unseen just doesn't work in coins.
We use it occasionally as a reference to see if there is a large difference between gray sheet and blue sheet. And if there is, then you have to be careful.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of my poo-poo on the whole, CDN hybrid sheet. That's what I think the problem is that it's just too much like the blue sheet.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody uses the blue sheet.
Yeah.
But if it comes with your CDN subscription,
right, and
more information, more value.
When we price coins, we look at several different things. We look at gray sheet, we'll look at auction comps, we'll look at price guide numbers. We'll look at recent auctions to see if there was a reason why a coin went for this amount or that amount. So it's just another piece to put in your puzzle as far as what you're looking at when you price a coin. So
cool.
It can't hurt anything, but like I said, I just haven't used it.
No, that it can't. Can't hurt a thing. And I guess that leads us to
your favorite part?
My favorite part, because I always like to see the cool things that walk into Matt's shop. And you know what?
What's that?
I'm really stoked on the fact that we've started doing this video thing, because now I get to see way more of the cool things that walk into your shop.
I have been just plugging away. Somebody lit a fire under my posterior because I just started making videos and putting them on our Facebook page, putting them on our Friends of the Coin Show page. I put them on YouTube. I'm putting them all on Instagram. I think I even loaded one. I'm just having fun with it. And the weird part is it's hard kind of this time of year to come up with cool things to show people because it's the summer. It's the end of summer. There's just not much going on. The bullion run's helping, but nobody wants me to come in here and talk about the 14 gold eagles and 500 ounces of silver I bought today. It doesn't matter. It's just stuff. So I actually did burn up my coolest thing this episode on one of those videos, and that was that $1,000 bill.
Yes.
I was hoping that, but between the time that I made that video and the time that this episode was being recorded, that something cool would come in. No, it's just been stuff. So we bought a 1928 series $1,000 note on the St. Louis Federal Reserve.
Yes, sir.
And just really sweet note, man. Just a nice, wholesome, circulated note. Couple little pinholes. Nothing crazy.
I like the story about the pinholes and why the pinholes exist.
Right. And if you haven't watched the videos, then I suggest you watch them. I covered this in the video, but they didn't have drawers. They didn't have slots in their teller drawers for large denomination notes. So a lot of times when they would get one, they would take it and they'd just pin it to the wall, and there it stayed until they needed to get rid of it. So a lot of these notes have pinholes, staple holes, marks like that because they were literally tacked to the wall just because they didn't have anywhere to put them.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have like a till they pull out like on a cash register now. The drawers were literally drawers with separations in them, and that was it.
Yeah, that's exactly why a lot of those notes have holes in them. So it was a cool note. It came in with a 500 as well, which I'll probably be making a video on that one too. Just saying, it's coming.
Cool.
It's coming. So it kind of inspired a lot of conversation about the notes on the post itself, and I think it got like 3,100 views on Facebook, which is crazy. So.
It is crazy, but it was a good video. It was really interesting. The content was awesome.
I just am having fun with it. That's the best part. So I'm going to keep bringing cool things. I'll try to save one for next episode and not make a video about it. But I just really been wanting to make these videos, and I was hoping something else cool would come in and I could talk about it, but it really hasn't. So
I particularly like your camera setup.
You know,
you've got one that faces the desk, and then you've got one that faces you. And
it's something fun to do. I like talking about coins, as you can tell.
You are conquering technology, sir.
I'm doing something, having fun with it.
Yeah, and much to the enjoyment of our listeners.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. So that was the coolest thing that walked into your shop?
That unfortunately was it. Like I said, I was hoping for something else.
Yeah, only $1,000 bill. So, typical coolest thing questions. Have you sold it yet?
No, I think we still have it.
Still have it? So, my thing with 500s and thousands was that it seemed to me that 500s sold for a much higher premium than thousands. Is that true?
Yeah, in the same grade, the 500s tend to sell at a few percentage points more, just because again it's more affordable, it's less money. Um, this being a 28 series is a little bit different because most of the 1000 you see are 34 series and they're a little bit
Yes.
cheaper. This
Mm.
28 series note, I think they're around 2,500 bucks, 2,500 bucks, and just like a mid-range circ, which is what this note is.
Yeah.
Where if it was a 34, it would be like $2,000. So it's an extra
Okay.
3, 4, 500 bucks,
Sure.
just because of being a 28 series.
And I noticed that the printing on this one's really dark.
It is. They just those old notes, and it may be my camera setup, but I think a lot of these old notes you just kind of notice that with them too.
Yeah. I don't know if they inked them better.
Well, if you look at like those old $20 green seals that have the redeemable in gold on the
Yep.
top left, those are old dark too, and those are kind of from the same period. So,
Yeah, and the green is lighter.
yeah,
The
green
black
is lighter.
blacker, the green is lighter.
Yep, that's right.
That's because they didn't have color TV back then.
They didn't have TV at all.
No.
29.
No, they did. All right, so we would like to thank we'd like to thank all of our people that have contributed to the show, people that post in Fence of the Coin Show. We'd like to thank the Tony Alvarez Band for the use of his music. We'd like to thank Ernesto for taking care of all of our Facebook stuff.
Yep.
And we have a new addition coming soon.
A new friend?
A new friend.
All right.
He's going to give us some content. So, so we're looking forward to that. J.I. And most of all, we'd like to thank you, the listeners, without whom this entire endeavor would be entirely pointless. It would just be me and Matt talking to each other, which I'm actually kind of certain would probably happen anyway. But now we get to do stuff with it. So you can find our website at www.coinshowradio.com. Please, if you like what we do, drop us a line. Mike at coinshowradio.com, Matt at coinshowradio.com. Mostly Mike at coinshowradio.com.
He's right.
I just answer my mail better.
I checked mine the other day.
Did they shut it?
No, it's still going. It's still open.
Oh, okay, cool.
I had like 1,400 emails of nothing but advertising.
Yeah, people who want to help us with our SEO.
Yeah, and other things extending.
Yes. And if you dig what we do, drop by our Patreon page. We want to thank our sponsors on Patreon, our patrons. You guys are really driving a lot of the change that is happening with our show. And for that, we are eternally grateful.
I agree.
So for The Coin Show, I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll talk to you next time on The Coin Show.